On a night, the Rangers reached their midway point in a 65-minute microcosm of their season. Low scoring, low event, and ultimately low spirits after a 3-2 overtime loss in Carolina. Hi, everyone. John Giannone inside our Delta MSG studios. Rangers lose 3-2 in a game where they had a 2-1 lead headed to the third period. It was the 7th time in the last 14 games that the Rangers have played past regulation time. They pick up a point, but they remain below the cut line in the Eastern Conference, now 41 of 82 games complete. Rangers with 43 points as they end the night. The Panthers beat the Capitals, so Florida remains in the second wildcard spot with 44 points. The Caps have 45. The Buffalo Sabres still in action. They're 2-2 in St. Louis after 2 periods, so Buffalo can vault over the Rangers tonight depending on what happens in their game. Rangers lose it 3-2 on a late overtime goal on the power play by Jackson Blake. As we welcome in Brian Boyle, who called the game tonight with Kenny Albert down in Raleigh, North Carolina. Sometimes the glass is half full, Brian. Sometimes it's half empty when you assess everything that happened in 64 minutes and I guess about 47 seconds. What is your glass saying tonight?
Well, this is the top team in the Eastern Conference that the Rangers had to come in and play on the road against, and played them well for long stretches of the game. Now, they are at a point this season where 2 points are obviously much better than 1, and they really need wins. But, you know, there's a lot of good that can come out of this game. Both teams have some guys that are out of the lineup. I just think this is unfortunate. They took the penalty to go down 5-on-3, and that cost them. They took the penalty in the overtime. Ultimately, that cost them 2 very, very fixable things.
All right, so take us through the game winner as you saw it. Obviously, as you said, Matthew Robertson, 1:59 remaining, takes a trip. It puts the Hurricanes on a 4-on-3 power play. Rangers had it just about killed off, but a final opportunity cashes in.
Well, credit to Carolina. I thought they did a really good job of establishing a shot, and Igor was brilliant. Igor was brilliant throughout the whole game. He was brilliant on the penalty kill as well. But you see that they were established a shot enough that once they started making the plays, going east-west a little bit, it got 2 of the Rangers penalty killers locked in on one side. They weren't able to recover quick enough. Sebastian Aho does what he does best. He sees and takes what's given to him. He throws it at the net for Jackson Blake, who's right there. You know, Igor gets opened up a little bit. Jackson Blake has a beautiful tip through the 5-hole. And Igor made a lot of saves on deflections, especially in the third period. He wasn't able to come up with that one.
Brian, we talked at the very beginning of the night about what the Rangers needed to do offensively to generate more. This is now 23 times in 41 games where the Rangers scored 2, 1, or 0 in a game. We saw the Rangers score twice tonight. What didn't they do maybe enough, or what could they have done more?
Well, if you look at their second goal in particular, I mean, Gavrikov's goal is on the power play, but the second goal was a good example of a stack screen and trying to get, you know, a low to high play and then chaos at the net with the stack screen. I think they did a better job of trying to roll up the wall and create things. And, you know, they started the game off hot. They had odd man rushes. That's what gets them this power play. They work into the slot here. That collapses coverage a little bit. That might give Gavrikov an opportunity to have a little bit more space. But if you watch, they're going to swing this puck around. You know, it's going to go over to Panarin. He's going to have an opportunity to spread out the Carolina penalty kill. They're so aggressive, and the Rangers can kind of go to work from there. As you see, Gavrikov sees Panarin has an opportunity to attack middle, and he's just going to open up for the shot. That's a difficult save. As you see, his Bussey's already down on the ice. All Gavrikov has to do is hit the net, elevate it away from the play. And then this is, you know, this is Brodzinski just taking a play and making it as simple as he can. This is a battle won. You know, Carrick dumps it in. You get first forecheckers, Matt Rempe. He's playing to his strengths, taking the puck wide, using his reach, bringing all Carolina's defense down below the dots, looking at him, facing away from their own net. That creates some separation. Now, Carrick's doing what Mike Sullivan's been asking them to do and stacking a screen. Johnny Brodzinski is fighting to get back to the front of the net. Matthew Robertson throws it right away, doesn't dust it off, no stick handles. And then out of the air, Brodzinski with a brilliant goal. And they were doing more of that throughout the course of the game. They just have to do it with all 4 lines and do it consistently.
Now, Jonny Brodzinski now 4 points in his last 4 games for Vlad Gavrikov, his career-high 7th goal in a season, also the first power play goal of his career. That would be the extent of the Ranger offense. Probably another night, Brian, where Igor Shesterkin leaves the ice with a level of frustration, not only that he gave up the goal in the final seconds of overtime, not his fault, but also probably played well enough to have a better result.
Oh, absolutely. And you can't fault him on any of the goals. It's a 5-on-3 through 2 bodies and a screen for the first goal, the Aho goal, the Martinook goal. It's a spin kick in the back of the net. What is he really supposed to do? There's 2 bodies in his blue paint, and he was brilliant. He was brilliant throughout. He had, like I said before, a number of deflections right from the top of the blue paint that he tracked so well. He had to fight through screens and traffic, as you're going to have to do against a Carolina team. That's their MO. That is basically how they play offense. They don't know another way. That's how they've been taught. It's been ingrained in them. And he makes 2 10-bellers on Sean Walker. This guy's going to have Igor nightmares for a long time. It was such an impressive performance, and I thought the Rangers did enough for stretches to maybe be more rewarded. But they had to be a little more consistent with it. Maybe the Rangers get another power play out of it. Maybe they have another opportunity on a rebound. But Igor certainly played well enough, and that's why they got the point.
Yeah, and the conversation also bears some about Brandon Bussi, now 13-1-1 in his Carolina Hurricanes career, now 8-0 at home, and he has another night, Brian, where he stops all but 2 shots.
Yeah, this is a great story in the league. It's not a great story for the Rangers right now, but Brandon Bussi he's just a battler. Rod Brindamore said it before the game. He just makes the saves that he's supposed to make. He's solid. And there's going to be stretches where he doesn't see any shots, but he still has to be solid. He played the puck fairly well. I thought he tracked it, and he caught the puck, caught some whistles when he had to, and the Rangers were surging. That's really all you're asking when you're a good team, when you can create, when you're an up-tempo team like the Carolina Hurricanes. Just make the saves you're supposed to make, and we'll be fine. We'll defend well enough so you can predict and you can read the play and put you in a good position. And so far, he's been one of the greatest stories in the league this year.
Yeah, Hurricanes now have a leading 9 extra time wins this year. The Rangers are 7-5 in extra time.